Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's call. It is, what day is it? October 18th. And we had a week off last week. And I just wanted to start off by doing a simple gratitude exercise because I think it's really important to get our energies um, aligned with like our goals and what we want. And gratitude is the best way to take in what we have. So before that, I would love to welcome Janine to our Sovereign Life team. Janine was my dance teacher all through high school. And she ran into my sister, Alana, and my dad yesterday, actually, at the artisan market that she was doing, or that they were, that Ellen and Sophia were present at, showing off the Nikan products and philosophy. And Janine was really attracted to it. And
I
so
mean, I'd actually love to know from you,
I,
Janine, like
I was just
what.
going to say
Oh,
that.
sorry, go ahead.
And I was just going to say, I'd love to know from you, Janine, what number one made you interested, but also what got you to take action right away?
Okay, so my personal history with I have a personal history with network marketing companies. So I used to be an Arbonne consultant. Okay, so first question, you asked me two questions. So the first question is that I've always known the benefit of, so for sure was the water filtration system, that the product, to be honest, was the first thing that attracted me to the booth and to open the conversation. And I've just been holding it off for expense reason, to be honest. But I was like, we're coming. I need time to invest in that, more of a purification system for my family. So that was the ultimate reason of just approaching and just getting some more information behind the product. And then number two, to open up the conversation, was about being consultant, was because, again, I have some history with being, I had my own team. Probably through Savannah, when I was teaching you, I probably was doing Arbonne on the side. I didn't really talk about it too much. It was kind of like a side gig thing but I was pretty successful with it. I had about 8 girls on my team, and we were motoring through, and it's a different type of company. I understand that. And I'm just talking about, the motivation behind that type of this type of company. And then there was a life change for me, so I couldn't continue with that. Although I did believe in a lot of their products as well. And for me, it's about naturally and genuinely selling something that you believe in. That's number one and ultimate. So I did like that company, but I just kind of, and I use some of their products too, their beauty products and whatnot. But I was done that. I was like, that was part of before. And I thought, well, why not? Let's just try something new. And again, I'm a mom of 2. I have a full-time job. So unfortunately, I won't be able to give like 100% here. But I'm going to take this naturally and see what happens in the process and with the progression of it. And I'm hoping, I'm not too familiar with all the products, but I'm hoping to love them in time and then be able to speak about it, like I said, humbly, right? And that's like that's the most important thing,
Yeah.
I think. So, and wellness is huge, and we have there's a market for it, and we have a generation. I'm way older than all of you guys, you beautiful team here, but
But we do have another mom on our team. Her name's Hanaya. She's just not on this call today, but she's also a mom of 2 or 3. I actually don't know, but she's probably around your age as well. And yeah, you guys would definitely connect. Maybe build out the mompreneur
yeah.
team.
And really, I mean, I feel like this is geared for my parents, and maybe your parents, your grandparents, like this generation. They need to be health conscious and take care of and take some preventative measures. So it's important. So that's not
Absolutely.
really.
Absolutely. I mean, most of the people in Nikan are much older than you. At least in
Yeah.
North America. In Latin America, it's probably your demographic is the most represented. And
Did
of
you guys
course,
find yourself with a young, like quite young team?
yeah, we just
Yeah.
started me, Savannah, and Elena about this is our 5th month now.
Okay.
And so everyone, and we've brought everyone that you see here on the call and in our team chat onto the team,
Mhm.
and yeah, so it's been mostly like the people that we're connected to, our audience, younger people, but we are open to everyone joining our team. We want people of all ages, of all backgrounds to be on the Sovereign Life team because really, like you said, wellness is for everyone.
Yep, absolutely. So
Yeah.
thank you for welcoming me.
Of course. Thanks for sharing with us.
We're happy to have you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really
Actually, it's
excited.
interesting because my uncle's been mentoring our team very closely, like he's our direct line. But he has after this call, so we run our calls usually from 7 to 8:30 every Monday at 9 as well. He has his aligning with success call, and that includes the cohort of individuals that he works with, which is a much older demographic. So, like you were mentioning even before, Janine, they're far older than even you are in terms of kind of like what their needs may be with respect to wellness and the benefits of the products and what their approach is with respect to building out the business as well. So yeah,
Yes,
there's a range. There's a range in terms, but they are an older demographic in general, and we tend to tune into those calls from time to time as well because the conversation is really incredible in terms of helping us get direction with what we're trying to build out here.
Mm-hmm.
right.
So,
Different perspective.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, even just us three are really excited to be bringing on all demographics and even yours because it's like we grew up in this wellness home, like all three of us grew up with the products. And so we are a product itself of the Nikan philosophy and what it brings
Mhm.
and why I value my health and um like what I put into my body, but so even so much more than that, like what I want to learn, what I want to be educated in. I have a different way of thinking and it's very much a product of how I was raised in Nikan. And so I think that's a big overall mission is to create a society where kids are growing up with this philosophy that values the 5 pillars of wellness, which I'm sure you got a little bit of a understanding on yesterday. Um,
Mhm.
and the rest of us on this call are pretty well informed with those pillars by now. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Okay.
Awesome.
So that said, I want to go back to that exercise I mentioned. So, yeah, I just want to do a little gratitude exercise. I think it's really important to get us into the spirit of just being grateful for everything we have. And that energy is ultimately what helps us to to manifest what we want and to get to our goals. Because, yeah, so basically, last week was a really special week. Felt like it for me. I'm wondering how it felt for you guys, but it was Thanksgiving. And every year at our family, we go around the table and we say some things that we're grateful for. Now, usually we go off and that takes like 45 minutes. We're not going to do that today. But what I would really love is just to hear from everyone on this call, just one thing that really stood out to them in the past week that they're super grateful for and just lifted their spirits. Something went well for you. Yeah. So anyone want to start?
Mm. Why don't you-
I'll start. I'm very grateful for our family and close family and friends that have their health and were able to get back to regular activities, such as my kids back into hockey and dance, and everything is starting to feel a little bit back to normal. So I'm very grateful for our health and well-being in the present moment.
Mm.
Thank you. That's great.
Yeah.
Sophia, I'm gonna call you.
Okay. I'm really grateful. So this week, I actually made a very big decision for myself, and I decided to go full in and invest in a coaching program because I want to start to offer more services on my Mind Palace page. I'm pretty sure most people here follow me on that page, but it's all about training your mind for inner peace. And I really haven't figured out a way to offer that as like a program or, you know, a service for someone, but I made a decision and I'm just going to go all in and go for it. And so I'm really grateful that I found this awesome coach, and then I'm going to be working with her over the next 3 months to develop a program.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's awesome. Tiffany, you're next on my screen.
I think I'm really grateful for my family. As like, I don't think a lot of you know, but I did lose a lot of family in terms of COVID this like past like year. So, and it's with COVID being COVID and so many restrictions on seeing your family and people you love and stuff. I think this Thanksgiving, I was a lot more grateful that I was able to see majority of my family, you know, like we were all able to come together, and we haven't been able to do that in such a long time. So it was a really special Thanksgiving. So I'm really thankful for that.
That's beautiful.
I love that.
Alicia? Okay.
I mean, I have a lot to be grateful for, but I feel like this last week or so, like I finally got my diploma in the mail from school. So I'm just really grateful to have had the opportunity to get an education, and an education in something that I'm really passionate about. So I'm really grateful that I had that opportunity, for sure.
Congratulations.
Elena?
Thank you.
A lot of things to be grateful for. I think today what's standing out for me is I'm really grateful for like moments of stillness. I was outside today just earlier, and I realized like it's in those moments that you're really able to check in with yourself. And I literally was asking myself today, you know, in this moment right now, how am I feeling? And then I just slowly started to tune into my breath. And then I was able to kind of just like open my eyes and tune outwards and realize like I'm just like surrounded by such like beauty and the fall leaves and the brisk wind, and I just like was really present with that whole experience. And I realized those moments of stillness have been really important for me in the last week in terms of being able to just like regather myself and remind myself of what's important, and that is this very moment.
Sam, what about you?
I feel the same way. I feel like there's so much to be grateful for lately. Sophia, it's so weird that you mentioned coaching, because last week I signed up for this program called the Yes Supply Method. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I have heard of the Yes Supply. I follow her. And I think somebody else was telling me that somebody else this week told me that they signed up for her course too.
So weird. But yeah, you said that and I was like, whoa, that's so weird. I didn't sign up to like for the same reasons. It's more so I kind of want to see where it goes, and I kind of want to narrow in everything I've been kind of preaching about, like mindset and all of that, mindset training, confidence training, and they teach neuro-linguistic programming. So I'm really interested in learning that. And I'm grateful that I came to this realization to kind of explore things outside of what my day job is and actually make the investment and do those things. So I'm grateful for that. But mostly I'm also grateful for my nano, my grandfather, because this time last year at Thanksgiving, we couldn't have dinner with him because he got into a nearly like fatal accident, but he was able to pull through crazily at his age, and we were able to have dinner with him, and he was just like perfect, like old time. So I'm really grateful for that.
Aw, I love that.
Congratulations.
That's amazing. So much to be grateful for.
It was nice.
What about you, Savannah? Your turn.
As you've all said, the little things you're grateful for, just having that sip of coffee, you know, in the morning. But no, honestly, this week I'm really, really grateful to have my dog down here with me. She's like, she makes me, everyone who knows me knows, like, I've had Lily since I was 7. She makes me so happy. And every time I get to spend time with her, see her playing, even though she's absolutely crazy. And like to see it that she's 14 and still runs around like a puppy. That makes me really grateful. So I'm glad that I have these few days down here to spend time with this little one. Yeah, that's why I'm grateful. You can go back to bed. All right. Thanks, guys, for participating in that. I think it's really nice to just start your day off, start your call off with that sense of gratitude.
Yeah.
I'll take us away, so.
Yeah, I mean, every call is a bit different, as you know. Some calls are just let's regroup, let's get motivated and inspired. Some calls are training sessions. For this call, we really, well, actually, it was inspired by Sam. Sam had the idea for us together, us as the Sovereign Life team, to work together to put out an event that we can invite friends and family to. And I think after this weekend at the Artisan Market, we realized how powerful it is to have like an experiential event, something that people can, you know, when they can come and actually feel and touch and experience the products firsthand and really like be in our energy. It's different. So Sam, I don't know if you wanted to kind of introduce your topic or idea and then we can kind of brainstorm, but me and Elena have some cool ideas to share on that.
Well, I initially proposed like the experiential marketing kind of idea because I was thinking about like how I've struggled to kind of meet the goals of where I want to be within like this team or just with like for myself, like reaching out to people or communicating with people. And I know that doing it through social media is a big way to do it, like going on your stories or making a post. And I've been finding it difficult to kind of like authentically do that. And I was thinking, like, what's a way that I would be able to kind of, not just me, but like the team in general, what's a way that we can kind of come together and like leverage everyone's unique capabilities in a way. And so I was like, I do this for work too sometimes. I was like, experiential marketing could work because it kind of gives you that comfort level of having your team there in person. We can all like work together and it kind of gets rid of also that like Zoom barrier too. Like I feel like for this whole year and a half, we've always been doing everything through Zoom. And I think that being able to do it in person and having that like human to human face to face connection would be a lot better. And you're not like reading off like I feel like everyone always has notes, right? So like you won't be reading off your notes, reading off your screen. You're just talking about products you really like, or you're talking about a business model you really like in just a really real way. And I was like, if I feel this way, there might be other people on the team that might feel this way, just kind of stepping into it and want to put their foot in the door. So that's kind of why I proposed this. But basically, experiential marketing just it raises a lot of brand awareness and makes people feel emotionally connected to whatever the products are, like by textbook definition. So I don't know. I thought that this would be a good way. And typically how I do it at work with my team is I'll ask people to kind of bring their creative ideas about it. And then you just start discussing and you come up with a plan, I guess. I mean, it's not something that will happen, I don't think, in like a week or like 2 weeks. Like you kind of have to build on it. You have to weigh everything out and just see what everyone's okay with as well. So that was my thought process on that.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I agree with everything you were saying, especially having had like my first like real experience like that just yesterday. It's so different when you're actually speaking face to face about the products that you love and then being able to feed off of your partners. It's so simple to like someone asks you a question, maybe you don't have an answer in that moment. You know, you're like, maybe I can't answer this for you, but my partner might be able to provide you with the answer that you're looking for. So it's just a great way to feel supported in that, and to really have people, because we say it all the time, the Nikken products in general, the technology, like these are things that people have immediate experiences with. These are things we can do demos with. Like it's word of mouth. It's an actual personal connection to the products. That's why people get involved in the first place. So I'm on board. Now, what might that look like?
We want everyone's contribution here. You know, we want this to really feel it's like something that we're building and planning and bringing to life together.
Sorry.
I just want to know what you guys mean by like what type of input do you want? Do you want input based on like just because Sam mentioned like different talents. Is this going to be strictly about Nikken and the products, or is it going to be just something that is on the same philosophy as that, but the products are there and demos are available?
Yeah.
I like the way I thought of it, and again, like this is just an idea. Anybody can kind of like rebuttal this idea if you want, but I don't think it should be solely just based on the products. Like, oh, come try these products out. like when we're reaching out to people or like posting on our Instagram, I think we should like word the event in a way like that's still obviously authentic, but kind of that encompasses like the business model that we're kind of preaching and like that we all love, also the products and like the preventative health, like all of that encompassed into one to kind of have a name for it. And just like an event, so we're a team and we're putting on this event. And at this event, there's these products, and maybe like one of you guys who know a lot more about the business model or products can be like a speaker or something, and people, something like that, something that encompasses it all.
Yeah.
What about having even like different things based around the five pillars of health? So, for example, body. What if someone does like a yoga class? So just like a 15-minute, 20-minute yoga, and like there can be different stations, different sections of things. And it's really about making you feel good and like connecting rather than, and the products are just the benefit. The learning about them are the benefit.
Yeah, Savannah, I agree. And tagging on to what everybody else is saying, something where you would do, a 10-minute yoga class, or you'd have somebody who's maybe a Thai yoga massage specialist and using, your different tools. And then they have a tactile experience and they can try it on themselves. But you have a professional kind of saying, well, this is what you would use it on. That's how you use it on your back.
Yeah, we actually have a Thai yoga massage specialist joining our team, so that's
there you go. So there's what Sam is saying, using different people's talents, but you're encompassing the product. But I think the most challenging thing about this right now is location. How does that work with these restrictions, and or do you have to rent a space, or is it, does somebody have a big walkout basement? Like, I don't know.
So that's what I was thinking too. Obviously, everyone has to be okay with, putting something like this on. It doesn't have to be like a huge budget thing, but I think that if we can all like leverage maybe connections that we have, maybe we can't think of it right on the spot right now, but if we come back next week or just put it in the chat. I remember, Sophia, you said something about a tent. I don't know if that's still a thing, but
it's not that big of a tent.
But we have two, so we have two, and we have the basement.
And
that's assuming we'll be allowed to host it here.
Yeah. They also have like those companies that rent out like those really big like event tents.
The white ones, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking if we're doing this at the end of November, we're most likely not doing it outside.
Yeah.
It's going to be too cold for that.
Yeah.
Unless we have one really warm day like we did last year.
I think there's a lot of spaces in Toronto that you can book out. We'd have to see what the restrictions would be for that. But that's probably the best option.
I have like a party room in my condo, but I don't know like how it works. Like I would have to see if there's like restrictions for people, like how long we get it, how much it costs, so I can inquire.
Yeah, that would be the best, because that would probably be a discounted rate versus overhead of just renting something.
Yeah.
Your room or something. So yeah, look into that. Are you Alicia or Alicia?
Alicia.
Alicia.
Yeah.
You can do a little dance class for us.
No, you can do it, Savannah. Actually, all of you guys, but lots of
there's actually a lot of dancers in this group. Tiffany's a dancer as well.
Yeah, and I'm the veteran. I actually just had a back surgery in July.
Wow.
So I haven't been back at St. E's September, October. I'm going back in a couple weeks. So I like a microdiscectomy, like a major spine, it's minor, but it's major for me, spine surgery in July. So this is another reason why I'm attracted to wellness.
Yeah. Did you get a back massage yesterday?
No, I didn't. I was helping sell on my boyfriend was selling his charcuterie boards, and I think your dad bought a piece. I think maybe your mom bought a piece. So I was helping with my daughter on just next door. It worked out. Our spots.
Well, you'll definitely.
But I need lots of massages. Yeah, that's again.
You need the mag flex.
I've got like the mag flex on my knee right now because and the mag in it because I haven't been able to bend my knee, but it's already so much better having it on. But you can use like these little magnets.
That's not the mag flex.
No, sorry, I meant magnet, not knife bugs.
Okay, yeah.
The power
So you
chip.
put those in the bands, like the elbow band or the knee band, the
And then
ankle
I have
band.
the
You put the
bands on,
magnet.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
But for back, yeah, sleep stuff, the sleep system, or the back roller, or the MagFlex is something that
Well,
you put
this
on your lower
is
back,
good
or
for
even
your
any of those
age.
magnets down your spine.
This is why it's good for your age to have the knowledge, because for me, I ignored a lot of pain just being a dancer for a bazillion years. I was like, yeah, fine, stretch it off. You're good. You're good. You're good. Talking to myself, and then I ignored, and then it came to a point where I needed surgical intervention. So this is what we don't want to happen, right?
Right,
So
exactly.
that's what, when I would, if I would ever speak to a group, it would be coming from my own experience of, you don't want this to happen. Let's think of preventative methods.
I'm excited to hear your experiences when you do try them and see how,
Yeah.
what you notice. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so just putting the idea that me and Ella now were kind of speaking about out there, it's not really related to the idea that you guys were talking about, but I think it's really cool and worth mentioning anyway. So Elena and I went to a so we have a bunch of friends who live in this house downtown, and they decided to put on like a little thrift shop, basically to get rid of all their clothes that they no longer wear. And I don't know about you guys, but I have a ton of clothes that I don't wear that I would definitely not be mad if I made a few bucks, selling that really cute stuff that I just like don't wear. It's not my style anymore, or I really just want to downsize and get rid of things. And I thought it would be kind of cute if our team came together and did like a Sovereign Life thrift shop where, we had all our clothes kind of on racks. People could come in and shop, and then we would also have our products there so that they could get a feel, and we could do some sort of presentation during the event where we talk maybe a little bit about the whole philosophy of Niken and the wellness home and the business model. We could hand out flyers so people kind of go home with some information to review. So let me know what you think about that.
I like that as part of what we do.
And we could walk away with some money. We might actually be able to finance our event with it.
I just don't see it as being the only thing, because you want it to relate to what we're doing, and it's fun, and it's a way for people to come, and I love it, but it's not so much related to what we do.
I know.
And that's why I think it could be an aspect.
Yeah.
Like we say, hey, from this time to this time, we're going to have this going on. Come see the clothes. Or it could be the whole day, and people can come look at it if that's your section. But
yeah, I just think it's a lot of work to do that and something else. So I think what we would maybe just have this as an event for a later date.
That's what I was just thinking. Just because.
I was gonna say, like, in respects to it being like, like a thrift clothing thing related to what we're doing, you can always market it as like a sustainability thing, like get rid of like fast fashion instead, like buy used items or like repurpose clothing, kind of stuff like that.
Yeah. Totally.
Because then it ties into, saving the environment, saving money.
Yeah. Yeah, even something we were thinking about, because originally the idea didn't come about in terms of, we weren't thinking about the Niken products originally. Like, we went to this clothing dump, and I have way too much clothes, but I don't have the energy to kind of deal with it on my own. I'd like to sell it. And so we're like, okay, we should do this together. Well, what if we got the rest of the team involved? Maybe this would be something they'd be interested in doing. And I'm sure everyone has something that they can get rid of. And then we're like, what if we just had the Niken products in the background? People can just try the water, like at the clothing or at the thrift shop. Everybody can get access to the waterfall, or maybe have one other product on stand or something like that, just as a way to kind of get exposure.
Do some demos, like
I'm
with the
just a little
insoles.
worried about it, guys, to be honest. I feel like you need to keep things, like, I think it's good to have fun with it and have it as like, but to host an event about that and then say, oh yeah, also come look at these products, there's too much mixing in that. I think I like her concept of talking about sustainability, because that also relates to one of the pillars. And that's another thing. Like, if you guys wanted to host it where it's kind of like you bring your clothes, and maybe every hour or so there's something new, but maybe it's 5 hours. Maybe every hour or so there's something new going on. And each hour has to do with one of the pillars or something like that. I think that could work. And I think the clothes can go along with that, but it just,
See, I think it should be a separate event altogether. I think it should be.
I think so too. I think if you're going to have people coming, they need to know they're coming for wellness and they're going to have that mindset already. And then they'll be more open-minded to listening.
We're literally thinking of just having an event where everybody can join in and make it a thrift shop, and we'll literally just serve people water from the waterfall.
Well, that's fine.
That's what we're saying. Like the main purpose, like originally we were thinking, okay, maybe we could tie it into an experiential marketing event. But the main purpose is just simply to have people come together, sell clothes, get rid of their clothing, and they get to try the water. If somebody wants to ask more about the information there, like they can, but I think we can have an event dedicated to that entirely on its own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think, do you guys agree that maybe what Sam was saying, the experimental marketing happens first? Sorry, I don't know how to
experiential. Yes. We could do that event for the end of November, and then we can do our thrift shop maybe sometime in December or January, early January.
It's off topic, but kind of connected. Have you guys heard of the app Poshmark?
I have. Yes, it's just this is what I don't want to go through the trouble of like taking pictures
photos,
of everything, having to send it. Like, no, I'd rather just
the sending's really easy. They send you the label 2 seconds.
Yeah, I know. See, I wanted to have it done in one fell swoop, and
if you have a lot, then that's the way to do it.
And our friends, like, honestly, it was so easy the way they did it. Like, it was something, I mean, we don't necessarily have to do it this way, but it was something as simple as literally putting tape with a price tag on their clothing. And they were just like, and it was in a cute space. Like, they set up this space really cute. It was kind of like more of a way to get connected. Like, everyone was kind of hanging out, just something fun for people to kind of join in on.
But you could do, as Savannah said, have a schedule where like from 4 to 6, it's the thrift mart. And from 6 to 8, it's wellness and workshop.
Yeah.
And from 8 to 9, presentation, discussion. You can have a whole thing like that.
We could.
Bringing the people there by that, and then you're sucking them in already a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And then they're like, oh, so they're aware of it, the whole thing. Yeah, you could probably infuse it as long as you have it along.
Yeah. Yeah, we could do that.
Because I think it brings them in. That's true. And then once they're there and they're talking, and then you stay, and there's Yeah,
I like that.
And then the whole point could be to invite them to like a follow-up call, maybe happening a little bit later in the week.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do it based on pillars, mind, body, family, society, finances, I mean, the thrift shop really fits well with the society pillar, because it is about sustainability, and it is also about connection, repurposing things that we already have. Mm-hmm. I think that is a really great model. So if we're this is going to be like a long event.
Yeah, it's going to be 5 hours. Like, I'm writing down right now, 12 to 4 thrift shop, 4 to 6 movement scheduled events, and then 6 to 7 presentation. Maybe a long event.
We don't want to do the presentation at the end. People will leave before.
Middle. The way you want to do things is you want to have something that gets some people going, maybe something that's a little more draining, then something that will bring them up again, and then like you need to like have these little checkpoints where it's like high, like something really desirable, something desirable but not that, but they'll stay, but then something really desirable that they'll stay through it, and like you got to have like little checkpoints.
Okay, so
don't make your thrift shop. Sorry to interject. Don't make your thrift shop too long, because those people will leave.
Yeah, I was gonna say 12 to 4 is kind of long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think it's like,
because the clothes will be there anyways. They can still have access to it. So let's say the people that show up just before the presentation, they can still reroute back, right? You'll still have access to. It's not like, but if you do 12 to 4, you'll only get the people to stay for the next part that come at 3.
Yeah.
I know, and I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry.
No. This is what we want. I'm like, I want everyone to talk.
You're talking.
When I did Arbonne, the best thing that worked was when I had people come and I had bowls set up and they tried the products, and they would like, try it on your hand and smell it. It was all this whole experience, and they were like, they're talking to their friend beside, did you try that? Oh my God, they're trying it on their friend's arm.
Right.
It was this whole beautiful energy that it just all happened naturally.
Yeah.
Right.
But you do need something to bring them in, because especially now people are like so used to being stuck at home and not going anywhere, that if you have those different incentives, right? Instead of just saying, come for a presentation and this. I like that. Like, no, this is, and it goes with your 5 pillars. Good job.
Nice rock.
So
Thanks.
I want to
We
add
love
something.
it.
okay.
I want to add something oh, sorry, am I lagging?
No, you're good. Sorry, Sam.
Oh, I want to add, like, I just had a random thought. If we do go forward with this experiential marketing event, I was thinking leading up to it, we should like get together, like get the team together, like so that I'm not just like on my Instagram, like, oh, come to this event this time, whatever, this time. Like we should like have a almost like a content day, like on a Saturday or Sunday, and then just like create a bunch of like little videos or like pictures, even if we need to make an outfit change so that it looks like we were doing it on different days. And it's kind of like the team collectively being like, oh, we're holding this event, there's going to be yoga and meditation, and you'll get to try like the best water and blah blah blah. And so we have like a bunch of content lined up. We can create like a content calendar and just have it roll out up until the
Like that.
event
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, that sounds like amazing.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a good idea.
I'm
I think having
liking
more
this.
faces is definitely like it could even kind of be just like I guess you're saying the same day that we do the photo shoot.
Yeah.
I don't know if they told you, Janine, but we're doing a photo shoot sometime. We haven't established the day, but sometime soon, just to have photos and videos for our website, and because we want to remodel it, change it up a bit, and we want to show like our team. And so yeah, we're gonna be doing a photo shoot sometime, probably on the weekend, I think.
Yeah, that's something that we definitely need to discuss further, the photo shoot, just because we want, first of all, people in attendance, but second of all, part of the reason that we didn't, like, yes, the weather was really the reason, but something that came up the night before we were thinking about was the fact that we really don't have much diversity on our team. And even because there was only 6 of us actually showing up for the photo shoot, there was 0 diversity in that 6. And we want our team to represent the audience, like the audience that we want to attract. So I don't know if it's too early to be thinking about doing a photo shoot for our website. I honestly would love to grow our team a little bit more first. And that's going to require everybody to contribute to growing the team. Because that's the way that we are going to have diversity on our team, is if everyone is actively working to find new partners. So that was something, that we thought about, and we just felt like maybe we were rushing into it a little bit, because it just wouldn't be a great look if everyone on our team looked the same, you know? So I think once, after doing this event, really being able to talk to a lot of people at one time, because that's the benefit of doing an event like this, is we can all leverage our audiences and bring people to it. After that might be a better place for us, a better time for us to do our photo shoot, because then it's going to be really inclusive, and we'll probably have a lot more different faces to show. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think on that.
No,
Yeah,
I agree. I agree, actually.
But I do like the idea of getting together prior to the event in terms of creating some content a few weeks in advance, so that way we can roll it out for up until the point of the event.
Like,
think it
so,
might be
and it doesn't, oh,
No, it's
Sorry,
okay.
go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, I think it might be nice. Like, when you mentioned that, Sam, I kind of got a visual of like maybe a few words, but we're inviting everybody, but a whole bunch of people saying a few different words. So it's showing like this is our community. These are the people you're gonna see, the faces you're gonna see.
Yeah.
And yeah, it brings more of a community feel.
I agree. And I think like just us, it doesn't have to like fall on one person. Like we can literally like designate different roles. Each of us, like someone can just come up with like when these pieces of content will roll out at what time. Someone who's like better at editing can maybe edit a video. We can like go through a bunch of approvals to see if the team likes it. It doesn't have to be crazy extensive, but like we can just kind of figure this out in more of like everyone being designated a role type of thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think it needs to be like like we don't need anyone professional like in terms of photography. We can definitely just do it ourselves for sure. But yeah, that might like grow the hype a bit more prior.
Yeah.
Grow the hype. I like it. Okay, so back to our event. Let's just do some brainstorming.
Is this all you had on for today, so?
Yeah. We're not doing any. I was not planning to do any training today. I honestly feel like because we didn't have a meeting last week, we really needed to just take a sec to connect with each other. And I want us to all be dedicated to a project together because we really, you know, we have partners on our team. We have team members, but we don't have partners. That's really what's going on. We have a lot of people who are on the team but aren't contributing to the team. And I think that having something that we can all look forward to and work on together will get everyone a little bit more motivated, will make everyone feel a little bit more comfortable. You know, that, yeah, because people are struggling with talking to people on their own, you know.
Yeah.
And although that is something you inevitably have to get over, I think that having some sort of like team effort at first will give people more confidence moving forward.
Yeah.
I'm wondering like if, because I guess there isn't too many people on this call, but like there's obviously way more people on the team. I'm wondering if like we put sort of like a brief of what we've kind of discussed into the group chat and then have like more of us kind of being able to contribute to the ideas like next team meeting. It'll be more like we can still like brainstorm right now, but you know what I mean? Like we can maybe provide everyone else with like a brief of what we've discussed so everyone's on the same sort of page before we like actually establish
Yeah, and then task items for what to prepare for next meeting.
Yeah, like actionable. Yeah.
I also think two things that we can like tentatively talk about and also get input from the team are the dates. One date for rolling out content, like actually putting together some content, and then the second day for the actual event.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to put something out there in the chat too, just talking about, and I know the team watches these playbacks as well, but feedback about what date for a team meeting works best for you, because we don't have enough people joining these weekly meetings. And when you think about it, the church wouldn't be the church if everyone didn't gather every Sunday. We need to be coming together at least once a week and staying connected. It's what creates rhythm. It's what creates like this energy that attracts people towards us. It's our collaboration. It's our community. And if people aren't contributing to the community, first of all, their businesses are going to go nowhere. And second of all, we're not going to have the critical mass that we need to really spark a fire and get this movement going. Right? Yeah. We want to create momentum. We want our team to have a life of its own. And that requires us to meet on a regular basis. I can't stress the importance of this enough. Yeah. Mondays seem to be the day that work best for the majority, but then again, still we have people not showing up. And I get everyone has their own level of commitment to the team, and maybe you can't show up every time, but I would like to have more people than we have now showing up on a regular basis.
Right.
So, yeah, so that's something that I'm going to put out there in our chat. I'll probably message everyone individually as well and just ask them what their best dates of availability are, and so we can choose the ones with the highest majority for the team.
I think you guys as the leaders though,
Yeah.
Maybe you don't like that word or whatnot, but the bottom line is you can't say, oh, what dates? You say, these are 3 dates, like narrow it down. These are 3 dates that work for this team that showed up right now, these 6 people, or you 5, whatever. These are the 3 dates that we're looking into, and then you can do the majority rules, but you can't be so open-ended because you're never going to get to a resolution as quick enough.
That's true. That's probably what we will do. Yeah.
You guys, even because you talk beyond these meetings, you need to make some choices.
Yeah.
And people will appreciate that.
Right.
They will. Like I even appreciate it. Be like, just give me a couple dates and I'll see if I can make it. But if you're just leave it open ended, it's just gonna keep
Yeah,
going.
I mean we have our dates. Like we meet every
Okay.
single Monday from 7 to 8:30.
But the dates for
And
your
Thursdays.
events.
Yeah.
event.
Oh, the dates for the
Yeah,
event.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That's
For
exactly what I want to do. So then tentatively speaking, let's give them a date for the actual event. I'm literally looking at my calendar right now. So November 30th lands on a Tuesday. This is definitely going to be a weekend gathering. So do we want to do that following
Let me just check.
Saturday, which is December 4th?
Let me just check. Sometimes I have exams on the weekend.
Why not November 27?
You can do November 27th. I'm just saying in terms of like, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks away. Yeah, we could probably do that.
Sam, what do you think?
Let's get both options.
If you go into December, can you tie it into a Christmas theme? Somehow as or like jumpstart the new year into 2022's approach, like that kind of.
Yeah, I just feel like people get really busy. I feel like people get really busy around the holiday time, and I don't want to encourage
you can't go past the 4th.
I think the
Okay,
27th.
so let's look at even November 27th.
I think the 27th would be like, even just like university kids. It's right before we get into our exam period.
Okay.
But exams are like, you wouldn't do it later than that. Like it would have to be the 27th.
So November 27th, and then what date do we want to get together to create content?
I think we need to start posting about it like
2 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like soon.
Like, let me see.
November 6th.
Yeah, November 6th.
I have an exam November 6th.
Okay.
November 7th.
That's a Sunday. Yeah, I could do November 7th.
I mean, I can come after my exam, but
we could maybe have like a weekend because
it also like even if no, never mind. I was gonna say we can do it different days, but I feel like that's too much.
No, I can do the 7th as well.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
I feel like if we do it the 7th and then like have that week like the 8th to the 12th for all of us to kind of work on organizing the content, then by the 15th, like we can post a bunch like throughout the week.
Even the 13th if we can.
Yeah.
You want to start at least 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys something? So if you're creating the content together, is everybody going to be posting the same thing on the same day?
No.
Like, so how?
I feel like it could just be
a little timer with I have Instagram.
I feel like it would be to your discretion. I think the content will be, we'll have a main, what I'm imagining at least is like a main little 30-second video.
Yeah.
That explains what we're doing, who's going to be there. And then we'll probably create some promo graphics, like things that you can share with people, email, post, text, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Spread the word. Let them know this is what we're doing. You can make it personal.
One of you guys will edit it and then share it with the team and say everyone can use this.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking like on that Sunday that we get together, we like establish who's good at what. Like, for example,
well, we can even do that earlier.
Yeah. Like you mentioned like Savannah graphics. Like I'm not very good at creating graphics, but I mean I'm sure there has to be someone on the team that's graphically inclined and can like do something like that, like digitally, which would be cool. So yeah.
Yeah, if no one can, I'm pretty good at it too. I can.
Yeah, and I honestly, guys, think although we're all talking about posting things on social media, I think the most effective strategy is to send personal invites out.
I was gonna say by, but like we can have something to send them to, right?
And I think that like this is what I meant before by being more comfortable. I feel like I would feel good reaching out to someone, being like, we're having this event, we're gonna do yoga, this and that. Like, I'd love if you came. And I feel like that's like a lot more comfortable as almost like a first or second step for maybe some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we want to do then November 7th from 12 to 4?
That works.
And then, yeah, I was already kind of working out a tentative schedule for the actual event, but I guess we'll coordinate more of what we want to share on that day and who will do what. So that's going to be content creation and planning. I mean, in terms of content creation, it's not going to be incredibly extensive. I feel like that won't be crazy. So that'll be like planning out what the event is actually going to look like and then creating like little videos here and there.
Yeah. But I feel like before then we should definitely have more of a like idea of like where it's going to be, all of that obviously, and then on that day actually plan out, I guess, the different segments like the yoga or whatever we're doing, you know.
Yeah.
And is this something we're gonna charge tickets for? The only reason I say that is because when people say they're gonna come and they don't have anything like that's bound them to that, they usually don't show up.
How about $10?
Yeah, like it wouldn't be anything expensive, but like $10 to get your ticket.
Yeah.
That would help us cover the cost of the event, and I think people would be more committed to actually coming once they've put in, some money.
Yeah.
Again, I think it has to all depends on where it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going into the condo space up top, depending on how much, if there's some more overhead, then to find out where first.
I don't know if any condo space is going to be big enough for us to host a yoga class. And I really don't think it would be.
You could do a meditation class with like, I have a friend that does sound bowls, sound healing, and you kind of just can do some visualize, but still, I don't know if those rooms are big enough. You're right.
So what about the loft space that you guys used for that photo shoot one time?
That would not be big enough to host a yoga class.
I do know a space.
That's a whole bedroom. Like,
I do know a space, but I would have to inquire about it. Although I do feel like I mean, obviously we talked to our dad about it, but our space is definitely doable.
Like in the basement?
Yeah.
It's just not really the nicest space, and I don't know how he would feel about us hosting an event with many people there.
We'll see.
We have to talk to him.
Yeah.
But that's going to be on the list, the agenda for things for people to contribute and brainstorm. Like, what are some?
And maybe
okay, so let's do that.
Class can be something you can keep for the spring. Like, I mean, it doesn't have. You're not set in stone with that because you do need the room and for that. So maybe you can start with a smaller event where you're just doing the thrift and it's more like a mingling thing, and then maybe a meditation where you just kind of there's the moments of still like different imageries or something.
Right.
And then in the spring, when you have an outdoor event, you could do this thing at a park.
Right.
Right.
Because
bring your mat, and we've got a whole. It's an amazing space in nature.
It's true. So we could.
I don't know what your connection is with Natalie. I mean, you can maybe.
Yeah, hosting it at her place would be ideal scenario.
Yeah, that would be incredible. That would be a great thing to collaborate with her on, and I definitely think she would be interested in that. And then in the meantime, like you were just saying, I feel like it would still be doable in a smaller space if we just did something like the thrift, maybe meditation, and then presentation.
Yeah.
Or thrift, presentation, meditation.
Yeah. Keep the yoga. It's an amazing thing. You don't want to spoil it just in the tight cramped space in the winter where it's take off boots and coats now. I mean, it's gonna happen with these waivers. It just hit us.
Yeah.
Unless somebody knows someone has a banquet hall, like their relative that's gonna say, okay, you can use the space.
Yeah.
How about this too? Just to like big picture for a second, what's our goal in terms of how many people we want to show up collectively?
That's the thing. Like it could be like really small or really big, depending on how many.
Is it too much?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let's set it.
Like, okay, so throughout the entire day, because not everyone might come to the whole thing.
Yeah, but in terms of what we feel like,
I feel like it would depend on the space, because then if we are going to sell tickets, if we have a space, then maybe we can just see how many people can fit in that space and then sell that amount of tickets.
I get what you're saying, but I want to start with the goal. I want to set the intention of how many people collectively we expect to see at this event so that people know what they're working towards and so that we can plan accordingly too. Because when people plan
But I think that also depends on like the size of the venue. Like if we can't have 50 people, we can't have a goal of 50 people.
For sure, but that's why we pick the goal first and then find the venue.
And you find the venue
to accommodate that number of people.
Exactly. So
I froze. Alicia, what did you say?
I was just saying, like, how can we set a goal of, say, like 50 people if we don't have like a space that accommodates 50 people? And they were like, no, you pick the goal first, and then everything else kind of falls into place.
Let this be an important moment to just bring awareness to that lesson and to that paradigm, where when you set the goal and you make the decision, the resources that are needed to accomplish that goal begin to present themselves. But you need to start with the decision first. You need to start with the goal every single time. So let's set a goal for ourselves in terms of how many people we expect to show up to the event. It's the same thing. And I just wanted to say that because apply that same paradigm to your business.
Essentially, it would be everybody bring 3 people, and that's
girl, 3.
I was gonna say 12, 15.
Yeah, we need way more.
Yeah. If our goal is 50, which she just said 50, then what I was saying is it would mean everyone has to bring 3 people. I'm not saying you're limited. I'm just saying that's what the goal entails.
Yeah, I think we need to go way more.
Then say 100.
Janine says everyone aim for 15.
12 to 15.
12 to 15.
Minimum 10 a team member.
Right.
Minimum.
10.
Minimum. If you want it to really be worth it for your business.
Yeah.
Because we know the rule of thirds, right?
Yes.
10 people come. 6 might be interested. 3 might sign up. You might have 1 partner. So.
Right.
I say if we have everyone aim for 12 to 15, we have to find out, first of all, who's coming, who's participating in this event.
Right.
But I think that's a good goal to set, is everyone bringing 12 to 15 people.
Yep. I like that.
And so I'd say we work on a list of things that we want people to contribute, how we want, what we want to be brainstormed for the following weeks, the next week's meeting.
Okay, so I just blanked, but I had an idea of what we wanted people to think about. Number 1 is obviously like venue offerings, so spaces to house this in, get people starting to think about that, as well as individual offerings. So if we're doing the 5 pillars, let's say, what are some?
I think that will be too. I think it's too much.
It's 8:04.
We're not having a product.
We're not doing the product experience today.
Usually, Janine, from 8 to 8:30, we do a product experiences call, so it's just testimonials. This week we haven't invited anyone to come and share, so we're just gonna continue forward and work on this event because I knew this was gonna take a while.
No, yeah, this is gonna take a few meetings, even beyond. Definitely.
Yeah.
So what do we want by next meeting, essentially?
I don't know how many members even you have. Like if you have 10 members times 10 people, that's already 100 people. So
right.
So we have 24 members in our chat.
Not everyone is an active member.
Not everyone lives in Canada also.
True.
Right.
The local members, participating members.
So
Elena, you
I
mentioned
have my phone on me.
we could ask like what of the 5 pillars people can like bring. Maybe we can just get people to think about the 5 pillars and just like throw out a bunch of ideas under them, and then like next week we'll have like maybe a doc or something we can share of ideas, and then we can just pick like 2 or 3 for the event rather than all 5, because maybe that's too many.
This is mainly just for the brainstorming, but yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And then later on, you guys need to micromanage and say, well, okay, you're going to be like at this station. You guys are going to be at this station. Clearly, you don't have to stay there. You can mingle or whatever, but that's your responsibility, right? So it looks very, very organized. If this is your first big event, it's going to have to be extremely organized.
Yeah.
Yeah. This will be our first big event as a team.
Yeah, it's
Janine's like, I've been here, done this before. But it's good. Like, it's so great to have you on our team. Because obviously we have my dad, who is an expert, who's been doing this for 30 years. And I'm sure he would have a lot to say if he was part of this conversation right now.
And after, when you speak to him, he's going to give you a lot of ideas as well. It's just, I know how easily chaos can form. You know, and you'll lose the interest. So you guys have to come up with, I'm sure you have this already. I haven't been able to look at all the links, but I'm sure there's, you know, videos and slideshows and things. It's gonna have to be a wall with all just running video. Like the technology has to be set up, that kind of thing. Right. So I'm just running tech.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a team member. It could be a friend of yours. You know, a boyfriend or whoever that's just sitting, you know, that kind of thing. There's gonna have to be, it's all about the place. That's gonna be your priority, guys. Where is it? And then you could figure out everything else.
Yeah. So first and foremost, I think what we're gonna do is set the condition for team members in terms of what we said, 12 to 15 people, and then confirm who of our team is actually coming to the event. So
and this isn't just something you just invite random people to. Like, remember the partnering process. Remember what my dad has taught us, the 3 conversations, finishing with the big event. So your goal for the month of November is to have those conversations to get people already engaged with the team, with the philosophy of Nikan. So then when they come to the event, it's a lock-in and they're like, let's go, let's do this, I'm ready to join. That's the whole point of this. It's not to somebody to show up with absolutely no information.
Yeah.
They should have already had a why conversation. They should have already come, you know, ideally to Thursday nights, we have a call called What It Takes, and that's hosted by my dad, who talks all about what it takes to actually start this business. They should have maybe even had an ABC leading up to this, you know? So ideally, these aren't just random people coming in. These are people who have a good idea of what the Sovereign Life team is all about. And that's how you're really going to get the most of it. That's how you're going to be able to finish the month of November with like some solid team members. And that's what we want for everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
And then after that event, you should have a follow-up meeting, like where you said before, where anybody who actually has interest then shows up really quickly the next day or 2 days later, before there's too much time in between. And then they actually come to like a meeting where you would then talk about the whole
launch
and everything I didn't go through, because I already knew about all that
Gotta get someone started.
the business model.
Yes, definitely. Okay. So then I think what we really need confirmation on by next Monday is the date, who's coming to the event, because then that will dictate the venue space that we need if we're setting the expectation of 12 to 15 people per team member. And then brainstorm venue, as well as additional offerings if people want to think about it a little bit further. But we absolutely need confirmation on the date and who of our team is showing up.
Yeah, like before Monday, I feel, so that by Monday, like we can have at least some options for venue, I think.
Yeah, people starting to brainstorm.
And you have to, it seems like you don't want to be this strict, but some part, like you have to be a part of it. If it's be mandatory, if you're going to be part of this event, the next 4 Mondays are mandatory, let's say, or right. It can mean,
I agree.
You can't flip flop like that. It's either you're in,
Right.
Not in on the team, but in on the event.
Right. And on
Yes.
the event.
Yes. Okay.
You want
So
commitment, dedication that comes with showing up.
absolutely.
Facts, Janine. Yes.
Energy.
Bring the energy.
Thank you. Yes. Okay.
Real.
You're joining the event. You're bringing 12 to 15 people, and you're joining for the next 4 Mondays until then.
I was gonna say something. You know how you guys were talking about like the time and like how sometimes people can't show up. Should you guys suggest maybe moving it later? Because I was thinking, like, if I didn't work from home and I was working in my office, I wouldn't have made it for 7 p.m. So could that be the reason? I don't know if everyone's like working I don't know what their situations are, but I'm just trying to like think of like options so that people can make it, you know?
Yeah. The only thing
Most people have no commitments at this time. They're just choosing not to be here.
Yeah, like I think the people that
I
we
can only think of 2 people that have commitments at this time, but yeah, that's
Also, they
it.
can reach out to you personally and say, hey, I have this, but I'm still
Right.
in. Like, I mean, if you
Right.
get that acknowledgement, then that's also
Yeah.
Right, right.
Right.
if it's just a
This
no
is
show.
this is something I just want to make this point too. And also, guys, I'm not really saying this right now to the people who are on the call again. I'm just saying this because this is what's recorded and then shared afterwards. You know, the way that you would treat, let's say, a school schedule or a 9 to 5 work schedule, or even let's say a night schedule, a night shift, whatever it may be, you know, at this time on this day, I'm unavailable because this is where I'll be, this is where my energy will be, and this is what I'll be doing. That's how these calls need to be treated. When you decide to join the business, that is exactly what you're doing. You are building a business, and therefore you need to take responsibility for your business. Otherwise, treat this like a hobby, it'll cost you like a hobby. Treat this like a business, and it will pay you like a business. I don't know how anyone can expect anything to happen with their business if they are not showing up to these calls, because it's a minimum requirement, it's a minimum commitment. This is how you learn, this is how you connect. You know, there's not much to it. It's not hard work. It's just, do you set the intention aside? And ultimately, you have to if you want this to become of something.
Well said. Well said.
And on that note, okay, sorry. So
Yeah.
I think I'm like, sorry, I've been writing notes this whole time just in terms of like what agenda we have for next Monday. But I think, like I stated before, get confirmation on who's coming, get confirmation on date, and let everyone know that if they choose to confirm, this is what they're committing to. So 12 to 15 people showing up for the next 4 Monday night calls, as well as showing up for November 7th for content creation.
Mm-hmm.
Sound good?
Which that hasn't been determined where.
Right. And we will definitely determine that. We also have to speak to my uncle, their dad. So we'll see where he stands with all of that in terms of like potentially using his space. And then let's say have everyone confirmed by Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Janine, for the last like just few minutes of our call, I would love to hear a little bit about your experience in network marketing. And because, you know, right now we are pretty much a bunch of amateurs. I think we've learned a lot over the last 5 months. I have for sure. I've absorbed a lot of what my dad has had to offer. So has Elena, so has Savannah. But at the end of the day, like, we are a new team getting off the ground. We want to build momentum. And we want to hit that critical mass. But we've had a hard time kind of getting everyone on the same page. So what, from your experience, like, what is some advice that you would offer?
Well, yeah, you guys are in your infancy, but if I'm saying that word right, but you guys have the right mindset. So what I'm observing tonight is like, even just me being a part of it, I can walk away saying, you know what, those guys don't even know what they're doing. I'm not going to be part of this team because you are young at the end of the day, but you guys, you have a goal in mind, and it seems like you guys are on the same page. And it's just, the motivation comes with results, and the only way you get results is putting in the time. Okay. So people, and I'm going to talk from experience, just being a high school teacher, this generation just wants results without doing the work. And maybe I'm talking even younger than you, but I've been teaching for 21 years. So the fact that you guys are even here putting in this time, despite your school, your university, and your other jobs and everything else, is a testament to success. I can see definite success for sure. So you just have to find a team. And I think that having an event like this is going to create the momentum. So you're on the right track, because it's hard to be behind a screen and be motivated to push forward with your business when you're behind a screen, when everything in your life has been behind a screen. Right.
Yeah.
Just how do you connect with people when you have to connect with your professor, connect in this group work, and then do this? So I think starting this event and then pushing forward into 2022, you guys are just this learning progress. So you got this. I mean, as long as you guys are on the same page, but I think you do need to demand in a nice way the commitment and the dedication, because you have to, because then you can't speak to the same people all the time, and the people that keep showing up are not going to show up because they're going to keep seeing the same faces.
Mm-hmm.
It just becomes rhetorical.
Right.
So you have good energy. I don't know. I might just being with you guys for an hour. I think there's a lot of potential. You guys are doing a great job, and I'm happy to give some of my experience, but I'm also want you guys to lead this. And
100%. Yeah.
yeah, you guys, and then you have obviously, you know, your model, your mentor for sure. And
Yeah.
he's the guy.
We are 100% committed to this.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know? Like, it's happening one way or another. Whoever decides to come with can come with, but we know where we're going.
Yeah, exactly. So don't worry about, you can't worry about others. And if you're going to, for most people with 10 people on it, even if you get them on the team, 2 people are going to move forward.
Yep.
Like, even so, it's not always just getting them on your team. It's like, they have to believe in it themselves.
We're the partners.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we talk about all the time.
Talking about before.
We're the people that believe in them.
My level of commitment right now, I can't tell you until, I mean, right now I'm in, and I'm totally happy to be a part of this event coming up, but you know, life is life. So,
right.
But you also have to believe in the products, and it's the only way to sell something is if you actually believe in the product.
Totally.
You guys do. So what do you have to do to get everybody else feeling
Well,
the same?
first of all, motivate them to actually buy their own product, which most people on our team have now, so that's great.
I know.
And then to be comfortable talking about it. That's what I feel like is a struggle for most, is like being able to actually talk about it to someone else without feeling weird.
I know.
So I'll have this event. I'm going to talk to you and your dad. Either I'm going to tell you a date, whatever, when works best. So I don't know how it works with you guys, but for Arbonne, it was always about events, always. And they all not huge events. So you're doing a huge event. I'm talking just like hosting at houses. So I would go as the team leader, and then let's say Savannah was on my team and it was her first event. I would go there, lead the presentation, help bring a lot of my stuff, and then it would just we'd move around like that. So it became it was time consuming.
Right.
So I don't know this is more of an online, because I'm very interested to see how this one works.
Yeah.
I think from our understanding of my dad, like, and how he ran his business, it was very much in person. You wouldn't like contact somebody over the phone. Like, you'd meet up with them in person to tell them what you're offering, and you'd host events in person, but it's really gradually.
This was also 30 years ago, before the internet, so.
No, but even before COVID, like,
it was a lot of in-person events.
It's integrated a lot to become online now. However, he actually said, like, his business skyrocketed in the last he said that it improved.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I don't think Papa was doing in-person events when he started this. When was the last time you saw him personally? You know,
you're missing so if you're missing what I'm saying.
Okay.
My point across is that people in the business typically did do in person a lot of the time.
Wellness previews.
However, before COVID and now during COVID, they've been doing online, and it's been doing really well, I think, especially in Latin America.
Also here, though,
what I need to learn from you, guys, is how do you
do this online?
Yeah. How do you promote an online workshop? I'd have to look and just be a viewer on one of your, like, that's where.
Do you have Instagram, right, Janine?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can
my
follow.
Instagram is just my name, and I would like all yours as well too. So
yeah,
we'll get you added in our group chat. But
to me when I speak to you in a week or so, or a couple of days.
Yeah.
Because you were saying also, Sophia, that you had like you're doing like a channeling inner peace page or something. I don't know what you're saying.
I have a page called themindpalace.ca that's all about cultivating inner peace and getting your mind in the right place.
Well, that's something I'm gonna actually use. On a side note, sorry, Sam. Alicia, but even for my students, because we do a lot of online workshops and they're very unfocused because we've been virtual for a long time. So
Mm.
I'm going to utilize your talents, and you can
Yeah,
bring that into this as well. Like this
totally.
is
I'm really great at guided
my
meditation.
body and soul and inner wellness, and that's it. And
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
is
Oh my gosh, yes. The last guided meditation, like, oh, was amazing.
Very good. Yeah. Well, that's what we've been focusing on, a lot more. Nikan's never had a digital presence. It's never had a social media presence, but we know just how well social media has been as a platform for other network marketing companies like Monet, for instance. And there's a huge opportunity there to start to share the message and get exposure to the products just through what we share on our social media. So's been doing this for some time. I myself have been doing this as well. And it's what we've been focusing on more recently is more of like what she termed permission marketing. So almost sharing information and waiting for the invite from another to actually explore it further.
It's
So
really more like attraction marketing.
attraction marketing. Yeah.
What you're talking about is different.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a process that we are taught, that we were taught, that we teach, and it's all about how to bring somebody through the process of not knowing anything about this to being 100% informed, and it's completely online. And that's something that
you
you're
guys gonna have to train me at another time.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what you're gonna learn when you speak to my dad. We have some training videos we can share with you as well, things that are already pre-recorded on YouTube. But I think the first and foremost, is really having that touch point with him, because it's a process that he developed himself, and that we've just we pass along to all of our team members. But yeah, that's one thing we haven't done is we haven't done events. That hasn't been part of our process of building.
Yeah,
this
so
team.
that's where I can bring in some of my expertise just for that. All the other digital stuff is where I learn from you guys.
Like how to use social media. I think I've been really successful with using social media, not only to make sales, but also to build the team. And that's something that I will definitely share more with you as well. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
All right. Well, I think this was a really great meeting. I'm super excited for the next one. We definitely have our work cut out for us, but we're going to take it 1 week at a time and meet our objectives. And I'm really excited to see this all come together.
One thing I wanted to mention before we leave that I thought about while you were speaking earlier, Janine, is we have like our tangible goals that we want to meet with respect to the outcome of the event, but what's our intention with it in terms of what kind of vision do we want to cultivate with it? So how do you want people to feel gathering and joining at this event? Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I was actually thinking that exactly before we were talking about this. I feel like you want people to feel. Actually, let me think about what
think
I want
about
to
it.
say
Think
before.
about it a little bit.
Because I have a vision, and like as we've been talking, I've been seeing it. I need to put it into words.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sam.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, just without thinking about it, without even having a more articulate way of saying it, you just want people to feel good and have their health at as their priority.
Yeah.
And that's it. They be more health conscious, and moving forward. And again, I feel like everybody on the team that day needs to have the same thing. It's not about the business model that day. It's about, that's in the back of your mind, but it's about how you want them to feel walking out. Wow.
That reminded me of what I was thinking. What I was thinking was like a wellness experience. I want people to feel like they just went to the spa.
I was going to say that, like a
spa, and it wasn't just their body, it was their mind. It was like internal, external. They feel like they just went to the spa in all areas of their life.
Yeah.
That's what I want them to feel.
I wrote down 3 words just when I was like thinking about originally, and the 3 words that came to mind for me were connection, wellness, and purpose. So I don't know how that would be encapsulated in the wellness experience, but in terms of not so much.
I'm gonna do like come have like a spa day with the Sovereign Life team. Connect, experience wellness, connection, and purpose.
When I was initially like starting to think about it, I didn't say this out loud, but in my head, I envision it as kind of like a retreat kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you want people to walk in there. Maybe they don't exactly know like what's going to exactly happen, but that's kind of the point of the content rollout. We'll kind of give people like glimpses of what we're talking about, and they'll be intrigued to want to come. And then they'll leave there with kind of like a new mindset on things. They'll feel like refreshed, and they'll probably want to learn more, and they'll probably want to talk to the people who were there more. Like they'll be interested in whoever's leading the meditation, like what everyone's all about.
Yeah.
So kind of like a retreat, I guess. I don't know if we'd call it that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's why the venue is so important.
Yeah.
Because if it's, if it's
Sets the tone.
dark carpets and black,
Even if it's someone's space, like I have things already in mind that I could fill the space with to make it homey, like a retreat and cozy. And so I'm sure if we decide to do it at someone's place or occupy someone's space, we'd all have things that we could contribute to make it to feel really good.
Yeah.
I wish I had this space. Sorry, guys.
I don't think we're gonna end up hosting it at a house. I think we're gonna end up finding a loft.
Finding a space.
Yeah.
But we could just find it like an Airbnb, and then we end up having in an Airbnb.
That's a good idea.
What about a dance studio? Like just a studio.
Yeah, a dance studio is a good.
Oblong?
Big.
Not big enough.
Not big enough. You're right.
Not big enough.
But you're right. Like a dance studio, that could be an option.
That's actually a really good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. You want a big open space that is
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, awesome.
But you guys,
zone.
starting in next year, like 6 months from now, fast forward, you guys only started this 5 months ago. Fast forward another 6 months when you have like all these outdoor spaces, you guys are going to have weekly things, and it's not even, you're going to have to have meetings about it. It'll be like same thing next week, next week. And it's just going to create this energy and be word of mouth, and people are going to show up to these things. So this is just, your first little taste of it. And
definitely.
Yeah, very good. Thanks guys.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys all so much for coming.
Nice meeting you, Alicia and Sam.
You too.
Nice meeting you.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Take care.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.